Spillage Studios video. Again, it's just gonna be me, no co-host today. So I wanted to do a quick video since we're over halfway done with 2024. These are gonna be my top 4 horror films of 2024. So it's been a great year for horror this year, especially as horror fans. We've been really spoiled this year with some great films. So I wanted to go over a few films that I've loved this year. I mean, the list can always change. I feel like it's gonna. We'll see how Nosferatu does. That's the one I'm most excited for the rest of the year. And I have one honorable mention that I feel like not a lot of people have seen this year. I should have done 2 honorable mentions because there's 2 films I wanted to do, and I'll briefly go over the second one. So starting off, I'm going to go from the bottom all the way to the top. So we're going to start off first with a Tubi original film. Yes, you heard that right, a Tubi original film. So I was scrolling on Twitter or X one day and saw this film recommended, and they said it's actually decent. So Tubi was free. I downloaded it, and I was quietly entertained, quietly shocked, to be frank. This film was incredible. It's a ride from the beginning to end, and the budget, it's low budget, but it kind of gives like that, theatrical release type of vibe. And that film is Low Lives. So what this is about is a family, they're going on quote unquote vacation, and they run into these like hitchhikers, and you right off the bat you can sound that sounds like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which it kind of gives off that vibe, kind of gives off a Wrong Turn type of vibe as well. And I don't want to, that's all I'm going to say, and things go terribly wrong with a twist. And that's all I'm going to give for this film so far, because I really recommend you go check it out. The twist is incredible. It keeps you on the edge of your seat from the beginning to end. I was entertained. I wanted more by the end of it. Completely took me off guard. And it's a Tubi original film. I never would have expected Tubi to release one of my favorite horror films this year, but it did. So I recommend you just download Tubi. It's free. I still believe this film is on it, so you can go check it out. And it's called Low Lives. Go check it out when you can. So coming in at number 4 is a film slightly, I don't want to say disappointed, but it wasn't as good as I was expecting. It's still one of my favorites this year. Still love it. Don't get me wrong. But it just quietly didn't live up to the expectations I set it for. And that is Maxine, the 3rd installment in the Ty West trilogy. I'm a huge Maxine Minx fan. Got her up on my wall right now. I absolutely adore X. It's one of my favorite horror films in this modern era. It kind of reminded me of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It kind of kept that vibe, cinematography, and it took a lot of inspiration from it. So Maxine's set in the 80s. It's still taking that same porn star character from X. Now she's kind of up and coming, an actress, kind of getting her first big break. The only problem with this film is the final act. It kind of loses the focus of the film a little bit. I thought Kevin Bacon did an excellent job kind of playing the little pesky rat that kind of follows Maxine around throughout the film. But the 3rd act kind of falls off what the whole focus of the movie was. It doesn't really put anything together in the trilogy that much. A lot of answers like left unsaid. You don't really get satisfaction from the trilogy. I don't want there to be a 4th film. I want Ty West to go do something else. I don't get me wrong, love Maxine, love the soundtrack. Mia Goth does a tremendous job as Maxine Minx. And yeah, that's my 4th film this year. So coming in at number 3 is a film, the first horror film I saw this year. Only saw one trailer leading up to it. It had a limited release, and one of my local theaters had it. So I went to go check it out, and that is Late Night with the Devil. If you like late talk shows, I believe they're called. This is set in the 70s, and it takes that whole type of vibe. It's like kind of like a found footage, but you're like watching like a tape gone wrong, pretty much, where they interview the devil essentially. Now, this film completely took me off guard of how good it could be and how good more films like this can be. Um, so yeah, it's number 3. I don't want to give too much away with these films. Just kind of want to, rank them, go along, see what you guys agree with, see what you don't. So number 2, already given away. That's gonna be Long Legs. Micah Monroe does a tremendous job as Agent Lee Harker. This was Oz Perkins. I believe this is his 3rd or 4th film he's done. Now, obviously, he's related to Anthony Perkins. We all know Psycho. It's a horror classic. Now, I have heard in like some of the interviews, Oz Perkins says he doesn't watch like modern horror movies, but yeah, he directed them. That's a story for a different time. But Long Legs is super unsettling. These movies, like everything I list in here, is not, jump scares type of scary, like messed up clown type of faces. It's not. These aren't horror films like that. These directors understand what us horror fans want. They understand what we're looking for, and Long Legs absolutely nails it out of the park. And Nicolas Cage, as much as I want him to win an Oscar for this role as Long Legs, he won't, just because you don't see as much horror in the Oscars anymore. But this was one of my favorite roles from him. I absolutely love Nicolas Cage. I think most people do. And as much as he doesn't get enough screen time, they kind of give him that Jaws effect. I really recommend you go check out Long Legs. I feel like most horror fans have seen it. It's got a nice little following so far, which I love to see. And coming in at number 1, this should be a no-brainer, Alien Romulus. Everything I wanted an alien film to be like. I just did a review on this, so I won't talk too much about it. But it's the alien film, as an alien fan, I've always wanted to see for a while. Covenant and Prometheus, as much as I like those films, it missed the horror elements. It missed the classic, prosthetics, animatronics that the original had. Something about that just feels like the whole film comes together. And Fede Alvarez does a tremendous job. Kaylee Spaney, favorite final girl of the year, favorite final girl probably the last 10 years. That might be a hot take, but I have to say she did a tremendous job, and I would love to see what they do with this Alien franchise going forward. So that's my quick little, rundown of my top 4 horror films this year with one honorable mention. So I just want to hear what are some of your guys' favorite horror films this year. Do you agree with this list? Do you disagree? This is just a quick little fun video. I thought, why not? We'll get another review at the end of the year with my final list of, I think we'll do a list of 10 at the end of the year. So stay tuned for the new Slashcast video. We'll be announcing soon what movie we're going to do, or movies, I'll give a hint. And yeah, stay tuned for the next video.